What's going on? It's Joel Kibble, Vitaminutes. I'm so happy that Pace asked me to be a part of this process because I wanted to have an opportunity to be able to encourage you, inspire you, share with you. This is my devotional book. There's a devotional entry in here called Walking as He Walked. It's entitled Walking as He Walked. And it's talking about adversity that you find yourself in and actually discovering that adversity conceals opportunity. Adversities conceal opportunities and the need to have eyes to see opportunity. We're surrounded right now by some adversities, some adverse situations with this coronavirus. But I'm praying that God would show you opportunity in the midst of this adversity. And it's happened all throughout the Bible. In 1 Kings 17, 8 through 16, Elijah and the widow of Zarephath, she found herself in the midst of an adversity. There was a huge famine that was in the land. So this was a physical circumstance and problem that she had to deal with. Her and her son were just about to die. They're about to eat their very last meal. And she appeals to the prophet who providentially has been sent to cross paths with her. And in the midst of her adversity, he says, "What do you have left?" And she says, "All I have is this little bit of meal and this little bit of oil that I have left in my cruise. And I'm going to bake this piece of this cake of bread for myself and my son. And then that's it. We're going to prepare to die because that's all I have. And there's nothing else coming because this adversity has shut us in." And he says, and test her faith, he says, "Make that cake for me first." When you mess with people's appetites, you are messing with people. But I want you to make that for me in faith. And the promise is that meal is not going to fail, and that cruise of oil will not fail until this famine is over. And she took him up on his word, and it did not fail. Opportunity that was already within her grasp. She needed faith, but she already had enough. All you need is what you have and God touching what you have. Another situation, 2 Kings 4, 1 through 7. It's another widow and the other prophet, Elisha. And when Elisha came into this situation, this was a financial adversity, a financial famine, if you would. Her husband, the prophet, had died, left her and her two sons in debt. And the creditors were coming at her and basically saying, "Look, we're about to take your two sons into slavery because you've got to pay this debt." She had no other options. And his word to her was, "What do you have? What do you have presently around her?" And she's like, "I have nothing. I have this little bit of oil that's left." He says to her, "Borrow as many containers as you possibly can from all of your neighbors. Realize that you have resources. It's just that we don't recognize these resources as being something that we can use, that God can use. There are a whole bunch of containers all around. They're all empty. But that's exactly what was needed. Get all the containers you can. In fact, fill them up, fill your house up, and then close the door. Because just like in this first situation, that cruise of oil and that little bit of meal is not going to fail. This cruise of oil is not going to fail until everything is full." And when she started pouring, she found that out. Even just more recently, Malcolm X found himself sequestered. He had done some crimes. He ended up in jail, went to jail for about 6 years. But when he was in prison, after some time when he's just kind of trying to buck the system, he found the resources that were available to him. There was a library. And he started reading books, and he started reading so voraciously and learning so voraciously that even though he was in prison, he educated himself and he made tools available to him. He's still sequestered. He's still in a restrained situation like we find ourselves. but he made use of the opportunities that are around us. Here's my challenge to you. During this time, I want you to see opportunity. I want you to ask God to show you opportunity. And I want you to take advantage of and ask him, how can I take advantage of the opportunities around me? Show me the resources that I do have around me. And I want you to help me, lead me into making the absolute best of my situations by first seeing the opportunity, looking past the adversity, seeing the opportunity, taking advantage of the resources that God touches that are around you right now. I know you can do it. And I want to hear some of these stories when we, as we're in this and we come out of this. I believe that God's going to do incredible things that he's reserved for this particular adversity. That's the kind of God we serve. So, Joel Kibble, Vitamins, I want you to be encouraged. And remember, ask God to give you eyes to see opportunity in the midst of this adversity. God bless you.